Y'all, Dave just said something to me that kind of threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting that, and I asked if he would repeat it for y'all.
As a combat veteran, I'm having a hard time seeing the difference between ICE and ISIS. ISIS covered their face and publicly executed citizens. ICE is doing the same thing. ICE is operating as a government-sanctioned terrorist organization.
I don't ever really see you get upset. This kind of has me thrown, darling.
It should concern us all.
I know. Y'all, Dave just
fired at 3333 Portland Avenue. This happened on 33rd Street. In one of the most viral videos of the ICE agent, you see him passing a Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is the symbol for a tyrant. He then crosses a house 3332, and then the next day, 2 people are shot during an ICE protest. This happened in Portland, Oregon, the 33rd state. Another agent shoots a 33-year-old man and a 32-year-old woman. Renee has 3 children. One 15-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 6-year-old, all adding to 33. The agent had already received 33 stitches, as said by J.D. Vance, in a previous incident.
33 stitches in his leg, so you think maybe he's a little bit sensitive?
In Masonic rituals, 33 represents rebirth. This incident happened 17 minutes walking from the George Floyd incident a couple years ago. This happened on 1/7. The numerical value of ICE is 17. This is another example of ritualistic occult symbolism and not only massive energy harvesting, but deliberately made to cause division, opposite opinions, and hate towards one another. It then causes the populace to revolt against the police state, just like the Hunger Games. Because without chaos, there is no new order. Just like the famous Freemasonic saying, order ab chaos. Order out of chaos. ICE is cold. This is the machine without empathy. Just like the saga of the Hunger Games. Trump is like snow, a man who could turn violence into a spectacle. And ironically enough, Trump announces the Patriot Games, where one young man and one young woman will partake and represent the country in a world spectacle. Even in the Hunger Games movie, you could see Masonic symbolism everywhere. Not only is this causing division, but on one side, people are drawing all of their emotions into reading these headlines and getting tricked by the media, and can't even think logically about a situation in real time. This woman, even though this is all staged, she did lose her life, but was acting in an erratic behavior, which I explained in my last video. But since people are so caught up in their emotions and traumas from the world that they experience, they can't look at this situation and see that she was in the wrong. But on the other side, you have people that are very happy about the outcome of her demise, when in reality, we shouldn't be focused too much on the fact that she lost her life, rather that we could learn from this experience and grow as people. Riots are happening all over the place. It isn't a coincidence that this happened in Minnesota. This was scripted, this was intentional, and exactly what it was intended to do is happening all over the country. This might sound surprising and might sound a little aggravating to a lot of people, but this world is not what it seems. And do you think these things truly go viral or happen just by coincidence? The numbers don't lie. The script doesn't lie, and this isn't the only incident where something like this happens. Spirituality plays a big part in this as well, and energy harvesting is very spiritual. See you.
Olha isso, nossa, que coisa louca.
Here's your Proverbs 25:2 exercise. In the Geneva Bible, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3, you know where it says, a falling away? In the Geneva Bible, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a departing first. Departing, and that the man of sin be disclosed, even the son of perdition. Well, in the Greek, this word means falling away, but in the Geneva Bible, it was translated in context as departing. Now, some people will argue this means falling away from sound doctrine, falling away, the church is going to fall away. Well, that's revealed in the mystery of the 7 churches. The Laodicean church age is the age we live in now. So you could argue that, yeah, that's going on. But check this out. If you really want to understand the context of this and why it's actually talking about primarily the rapture of the church, go to the root word. It literally means divorce, repudiation, a bill of divorce, because the church is going to get a bill of divorcement from this earth. And how do we know? How do we know that? All we got to do is go to Revelation chapter 5 and let Scripture interpret Scripture. Remember that book? Remember that book that the Lamb had? The book that Jesus had in chapter 5? A book written within and on the backside, besides having 7 seals, right? What does that word biblion mean?
Listen up. Do y'all remember at Trump's inauguration where we seen all these tech billionaires there? There's a reason for that, and I'm going to show you why. In the 1930s, there was this thing called the technocracy movement. It was a social movement active in the United States and Canada. This movement favored technocracy as a system of government over representative democracy and partisan politics. Just take a wild guess of who started this. This movement was called the North American Technate. This movement proposed a unified North America run by scientists and engineers. We know that Elon Musk has been talking about this as well, with his Mars colonization. But do you know who the leader of Technocracy Inc. was? It was this man right here. His name is Joshua Haldeman. He is the grandfather of Elon Musk. Now listen to this. Technocracy is the science of social engineering, the scientific operation of the entire social mechanism to produce and distribute goods and services to the entire population of this continent. Technocracy will distribute by means of a certificate of distribution available to every citizen from birth to death. The Technate will encompass the entire American continent from Panama to the North Pole because the natural resources and natural boundary of this area make it independent. I hope this is starting to click because this is the map of the North American Technate where you see Greenland, Canada, the United States, Mexico, and Venezuela. That's not all. The technocratic movement planned to reform the work schedule to achieve the goal of uninterrupted production, maximizing efficiency and profitability of resources, transport, entertainment facilities, avoiding the weekend effect. Haven't we heard Trump talk about that? According to the movement's calculations, it would be enough that every citizen worked a cycle of 4 consecutive days, 4 hours a day, followed by 3 days off, which sounds good until you start really digging. Here comes the price system. It came up with energy certificates, which would have a table with the information of a citizen's identification, age, sex, occupation, location, energy allotment, and purchases made. And it would be called an energy distribution card. And here is what they proposed decades ago. And for some reason, the duality symbol's there. But you also see the chip. The Universal Identity Card. Now they have rules with these cards. There would be equal allotments of energy. Citizens cannot trade or give away certificates. They can only spend energy at verified vendors. Once a purchase is made at the vendor, the energy used is made void. And their certificates have an expiration date. Once again, no citizen can hoard energy. And certificates are directly tied to an individual's ID. Therefore, it cannot be stolen or used by someone else. From the outside, that would sound really good. Now, back then, the computer wasn't used much, but they wanted to use an energy certificate in Dewey Decimal System so that they could track computation. And IBM computers were exactly the kind of devices a CAS would want to deploy. Well, wouldn't you know, they have that now. But they knew that one of the big troubles with all of this is that your computers is going to do away with your accountants and your engineers. And it is also going to do away with your executives as well as blue-collar and white-collar jobs. So Elon Musk has come up with something for this. He predicts AI will create universal high income. It probably won't be income. It will be energy because our economy is about to crash. And that's probably the plan. So here comes Greenland. We'll probably have Venezuela soon, but Trump wants Greenland now too. Billionaires dream of building utopian techno city in Greenland, the Freedom City, because it will have minimal corporate regulation. They want to be able to do whatever they want to. They can focus on accelerating emerging technologies like AI and mini nuclear reactors. And the frigid climate could naturally cool the massive energy extensive AI data centers. Plus, large deposits of critical and rare earth materials buried beneath the island's ice sheets could also potentially be used to manufacture consumer electronics. America is destroying itself because of politics, and everybody is just letting this happen. We are literally watching them do this plan. Y'all remember when Trump said you don't have to vote anymore after this time? Well, if this plan works, there won't be politicians. Tech billionaires will own and run different parts of America.
But you have to get out and vote. And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christian.
Do you see the plan? Elon's grandfather created it, and now Trump and him are going to implement it. They were talking about this plan decades ago. These Christians heard about it and wrote this book about it, pretty much saying that this is what was going to bring about prophecy, and it will one way or another. We read in Daniel that Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, and it was about a statue, and the toes were the last kingdom, which would be the revived Roman Empire with 10 kingdoms. If we look at the Club of Rome's map, it's 10 kingdoms. Pretty similar to Trump's plan. And Justin Trudeau said that he was going to step down. The next day, Trump calls saying that they should be the 51st state. Do you see it? This whole country is so divided, y'all can't even wake up to see what is actually happening. And when you do hear this kind of stuff, you just turn your head because you just don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe that every politician is the same. But the truth is, they all are working for one goal. If you are a Christian, you already know what is going to happen. There is not going to be a golden age. Take a look around. America looks like it's about to fall. And it's all by design to bring in this system. Put your hope and trust in Jesus Christ, not a man.
Here's your problem.
Run after God with your whole heart this week. And let this be the week, man, we tell Jesus, you are my priority. Set the course for the year. Believe for miracles. Believe for healing. Believe for salvations. Tell God to speak to you. I mean, run after him. I want you to get to God's heart and nothing else this week.
Y'all, Dave just said something to me that kind of threw me for a loop. I wasn't
I've never heard this before.
He said to me, you love to use Joseph, son of Jacob, as your gold standard on kingdom entrepreneurship. Is that not the case? I said, yes.
Supposedly,
I knew you. But then we bring I knew you. This just made the scariest verse in the Bible even scarier. God in Jeremiah 1 tells Jeremiah that before you were even in the womb, I knew you. But then we bring in the scariest verse in the whole Bible, which is Matthew 7:23, where Jesus says one day he's going to tell many people, depart from me, I never knew you. So you've got Jeremiah being told that before you were in the womb, I knew you. But then you got Jesus saying in Matthew 7, he's going to tell a lot of people, I never knew you. Which is true? Both. There is a version of you God knew in the womb. He intended you to become. And Matthew 7 leads me to believe you can become something entirely different. So much to the point, one day Jesus looks at you and says, I don't know this person. I knew you in the womb. I knew who you were supposed to become, but you used the free will I gave you to become someone completely different, to become the antithesis of the person I intended you to be. And I just feel like I'm supposed to ask you, who are you becoming? Are you becoming the person Jesus knew when you were in your mother's womb, the person he had in mind, the person he created you to become? Or are you being conformed to the patterns of this world, so much so that one day, even if you do a lot of good things along the way, one day Jesus looks at you and he says, I don't know who you are.